Good morning. I'm Penny Featherstone. My pronouns are she and her. I'm very glad to be here this morning. I certainly hope y'all will enjoy this program. And I love standing up here and seeing so many beautiful faces. Most of the ones I see I recognize, but there are a few new ones, and you are all very welcome here. I want to remind you there's a box in the foyer to collect beads and toys and candy to throw at the Martin Luther King Jr. parade on January 15th. We've been in this parade since it began, I think, over 30 years ago. And we're very proud to be a part of that parade. Okay, will you light the chalice for us? Our chalice lighting is from our hymnal. Come into this place of peace and let its silence heal your spirit. Come into this place of memory and let its history warm your soul. Come into this place of prophecy and power and let its vision change your heart. Now, Michael will come up and light the Advent candles. This is the third in the series, right? Yes. Okay.
Third Sunday Advent. Celebrating Advent is an excellent opportunity for Unitarian Universalist congregations to express their commitment to our sixth principle. We covenant to affirm and promote the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all.
I love that we celebrate many, many different kinds of holidays here, and it's one of the many things that makes this special, this congregation and this faith. Solstice. Again did the earth shift. Again did the nights grow short, and the days long. And the people of the earth were glad and celebrated, each in their own ways. Diane Lee Moomey. Okay, our opening hymn is in our teal hymnal, number 1063, and you can sing along with the choir. Hopefully you can find a teal hymnal.
Sister to brother, Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
You may be seated. We will now have an interview with Nancy Hagman and Kate Wolverton.
I'm sure there's a way. This is always an exciting time for me to interview our members and members of our congregation. Sometimes it's non-members of our congregation and their friends. But Kate has been a long member of this congregation. What's a long member? Oh, a long-term member. Yes, okay. So she's short. So and she introduced me to some music that I was not familiar with it, and she does not have much of a voice today. So she has allowed me to be able to tell her story a little bit. And she was inspired several years ago. She's changed her mind. She's going to use her voice. Let me ask you then, what inspired you to even consider playing the didgeridoo?
I watched the movie The Right Stuff, and it's about John Glenn circumnavigating the earth. And in that movie, there's a picture of some Australian guy playing in front of a fire. And the sparks are like coming up like crazy where he is. It's a huge fire. And then at the same time, there's all these sparks and things happening around the capsule that's rotating around the earth. And John Glenn says in the movie, there's something tremendous, there's something incredible happening up here. And I just thought, I want to learn how to play that instrument. And I really believe sometimes that it has the ability to move sparks or move energy around in a unique way.
Okay.
And we, today we're celebrating Solstice, and Australians in northern Australia, the Aborigines, are the ones that actually brought the didgeridoo to life. And there is actually a meditative group that Kate has been a part of. Would you like to speak to that at all?
This group has like a worldwide didgeridoo meditation on the four the solstices and the equinoxes. And they get together at sunset, wherever you are, and play for 45 minutes and then have 15 minutes of silence. And the idea is that, the people in London will start at one time, and Iceland will start, and northern Canada will start, and then here I am in Florida, and we start, and there's like a wave of didgeridoo sound that covers the earth, and focusing on peace and unity.
And the didge is made in a very unique way. Can you share a little bit as to how they're made?
The original didgeridoos are pieces of eucalyptus branches that are placed on the top of termite mounds. And the termites actually eat a hole through the center of the instrument. And this is an original one, so if anybody wants to come up later and see it, you can see the little sort of bumpy insides of the instrument where it's been gnawed away.
And if you think that you can just blow into this thing and make any music, good luck. So Kate, how do you manipulate the sound to make it come forth?
Well, I played the trumpet for years, and it's really not anything like playing the trumpet. There's no embouchure. You basically play into it as if your lips are just flabby and just ready to, like that. And you can change the notes by moving your tongue up and down, or you can vocalize sounds through it while you're blowing.
And do I understand it's called circular?
Oh, and then it's great if you learn how to circular breathe, because then you can make the sound come out continually for a long period of time.
And we have a snake on the floor. Would you like to talk about it?
Well, I have two didgeridoos. This one is a little bit harder for me to play, and then I have what I call my spiral dig, and Jack got me this as a gift, and it's like a block of wood that has been, the wood was cut in half, the channel was carved into it, and then the wood was glued back together again. So it's got the distance of a didgeridoo, but the sound comes up very close to you rather than out far in front.
And I'm going to ask Kate and Mike to do a few notes so that you can hear it. And we've asked them to play in the postlude if you want to stay afterwards to hear more of Mike and Kate. Mike, would you, what I call jam? Okay.
Either one, whatever you say.
I love it when you can just call on musicians to come up with something. Thank you. Kate Wolverton.
This is an eclectic place. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. People give in many different ways. I happen to send in a monthly check that the bank takes care of, and I don't even have to think about it. But now is the time for our offering, and we will have baskets go around. I think the greeters do that. And we have a very special music today from our pianist Mike and his partner Rivka have written this piece of music, and Laura Keith King will join them in keeping us centered during the offertory. Our message is by Nancy Hagman, and I certainly hope you enjoy this part of the program.
Winter solstice. Winter and summer solstice, with the fall and the spring equinoxes, are the quarter days of the Wheel of the Year calendar. Yule festivals fall on December the 21st and the 22nd in our hemisphere, in the northern hemisphere. And so, as you can imagine, the southern hemisphere celebrates these winter solstices in June. We will begin in honoring this festival by calling the directions. And I will read the calling of the directions, and Penny will light the candles. Spirit of the East, Spirit of air, of morning and springtime, be with us as the sun rises, in times of beginning, times of planting. Inspire us with fresh breath of courage as we go forth into new adventures. Spirit of the South, Spirit of fire, of the noontime and summer, be with us through the heat of the day and help us to be ever growing. Warm us with strength and energy for the work that awaits us. Spirit of the West, Spirit of water, of evening and autumn, be with us as the sun sets and help us to enjoy a rich harvest. Flow with us with a cooling, healing, quietness, and bring us peace. Spirit of the North, Spirit of earth, of nighttime and winter, be with us in the darkness, in the time of gestation. And Spirit of center, ground us in the wisdom of the changing seasons as we celebrate the spiraling journey of our lives. Yule is one of the oldest winter solstice festivals, with its origins among the ancient Norse and Scandinavian countries thousands of years ago. Its roots are complicated and difficult to trace, although there are several theories about how and why the festival was celebrated. It is generally agreed that Yule celebrations began as a Norse festival called Jol, J-O-L. Today we will uncover only a few of the countries that celebrate winter solstice, realizing the similarity in the themes in each of these festivals. The pre-Christian festival was later subsumed, along with other pagan celebrations, into the Christian holiday of Christmas. Among and around the 10th century, there was a king, King Hakon Haraldsson of Norway, became Christian and declared the Christian Christmas celebration be merged during his reign. Well, the people did not want to give up the energy and the celebration at this time of the year that they had experienced with solstice. So it's believed that the celebration of Jesus' birth was honored at this time to continue with the gift giving and the celebrations and the merrymaking with fires and feastings. Due to the harsh winters in Northern Europe, most cattle were slaughtered because they could not feed during the winter. So therefore, meat was plentiful, and sometimes it was left as an offering. Now, I have been corrected on how to say these words, and I anticipate after this service I will be corrected again. And so, if you'll bear with me, I wrote the words on a slide so you can figure out whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to say Sol is a winter solstice celebration of the Hopi Indies of northern Arizona. At that time, they welcome the Kachinas. Those are protective spirits from the mountains. They make prayer sticks as crafted and use various blessings and other rituals. There's a Persian festival called Yulda. It's celebrated in Iran. It marks the last day of the Persian month of Azar. Yulda is viewed traditionally as the victory of light over death, similar theme, and the birthday of the sun god, Mithra. Families celebrate together with special foods like nuts and pomegranates and stay awake all night long to welcome the morning sun. And to Rami in Peru, the solstice celebration, of course, comes in June rather than December, is from the Incas' celebration in honor again of the sun god. It was banned by the Spaniards at one point in time, but it has since been revived. Saturnalia, which is the temple of Saturn, is among the ruins of the Forum Rome. Saturnalia is perhaps the most closely linked with modern celebration of Christmas. This festival happened around the time of winter solstice and celebrated the end of their planting season. There were games, feasts, gift-giving for several days, and social order was inverted. Slaves did not work and were briefly treated as equals. St. Lucia's Day is a festival of lights celebrated in Scandinavia around the time of winter solstice. Although it is now meant to honor St. Lucia, a Christian martyr, it has been incorporated with earlier Norse solstice traditions, such as lighting fires to ward off spirits during the longest night. Girls dress up in white gowns with red sashes, wear wreaths of candles on their heads in honor of St. Lucia. Dashin, which is not up there and I don't have a picture, was the arrival of winter as an important festival in China. It had a time for family to get together and celebrate the year. Based on the traditional Chinese celestial calendar, the holiday generally falls between the 21st and 23rd of December. It is thought to have started again as an end of harvest festival, with workers returning from the fields enjoying their fruits of their labors, and their special foods such as tang wan, which is also glutinous rice balls, were enjoyed.
Maybe glutinous?
I think they're probably glutinous, but I'm calling them gluttonous, like rice balls. See, isn't it great to live among a family of friends? Even Antarctica gets its share of solstice celebration in June, thanks to the researchers staying there over the long, dangerously cold season, while those of us in the northern hemisphere enjoy the most daylight hours. The southern hemisphere, they are celebrating midwinter. Festivities include special meals, films, sometimes even handmade gifts. Now here's a fun fact. Another remaining tradition is the Yule goat. In towns and cities throughout Sweden during the Christmas season, large goats are constructed out of straw. It is thought that the tradition originated in ancient times, perhaps tribute to the god Thor, who was said to ride a chariot pulled by goats. In Sweden, the goat came to be associated with the Christmas celebration, and the Yule goat is now considered by many to be a companion or counterpart of Santa Claus. In different traditions, the Yule can be a 2-month celebration that started in the middle of November, a 12-day celebration that started on winter solstice, or a 3-day feast that started on the night of the winter solstice. In modern times, Yule as a solstice celebration is observed by many to honor the earth and its cycles of life, both as individuals and as groups. The Wiccans, Yule is the second Sabbath of the Wheel of the Year, marked with rituals to welcome again the return of the sun. Some mark the holiday with reenactments of the battle between the Holly King and the Oak King of Celtic legend. Some endeavor to recreate traditions of the ancient Norse by burning Yule logs with feasts. Some simply stay awake until dawn to observe the cycles of nature. This is a time of fresh beginnings, rebirth, transformation, breaking bad habits, and creativity for pagans. Evergreens, the Yule log, the Yule tree, mistletoe, holly, wreaths, and bells are all Yule symbols of solstice. And now I'm going to invite you into your own time of fresh beginnings and rebirth. The apple is a fruit that has a natural protective coating that helps to protect the apple and preserves it through the winter. So we will be using apple seeds. Everyone will receive a card with an apple seed on it. And if you need a pencil, please raise your hand. We will do some writing. Did everybody get one? Everybody has one? Okay. So we're going to take a moment to just breathe. And I invite you to breathe in a simple fashion. We know we take in oxygen and we give off carbon dioxide. And so in the process of this, to enhance the ability for our body to receive the oxygen, it's important that we breathe in a certain length of time. We hold it for the exchange of in the cells, and we breathe out longer than we breathe in. And so I will do a 4 count with you the first time, and then you're welcome to just continue for a couple more breaths. So as you touch and feel the seed, we will lower the lights a little bit, and we will bring them back when we return. So take a few minutes to breathe. Breathe in on a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release it. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and do nothing. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 1 and continue on your own. Imagine that you were alive 12,000 years ago. It's winter. You're probably cold and probably hungry. And the days have gotten shorter and shorter. So you light a fire. You sit by it and think about the past year. What perhaps you have done. What was successful, what happened, and what might not have gone so well. In an earthenware pot in the corner of your dwelling are several preserved seeds that will become next year's harvest. These seeds that we gathered in October at Samhain are the last harvest of the year. These seeds mean life and death for you, your family, and your tribe. as they will be the seeds that are planted in the spring. Today, our seeds may represent projects, ideas, hopes, and dreams that you have held in the last 3 months. And take time to just think about that. Which ones do you really want to grow? As the days got darker, you've waited and wondered if the sun will ever return for you to plant your seeds. And then, when it seems that the world cannot get any darker, a beam of strong, pale sunlight streams into your living space and lights up the seeds. They glow with the promise of the coming spring. Observe that light for a moment. And then the sun will move higher in the sky to illuminate a new day. And you observe the potential of your new seeds. Now you can slowly return to this place, feeling your feet and your hands, and begin to feel that your body comes alive, and you are back with us. And you have a piece of paper, and we will give you more light gently. You have a piece of paper and something to write with, and there are 4 questions for you to answer. And just take a few moments to write the answers to these questions. What are your dreams, and what do you desire? Number 2, why does it matter, or why do you care? Number 3, what happens if you never do this? And number 4, what are the things that you could start doing today to make it happen? What we know about dreams and making things happen is that lots of times they come in our head first. They're thinking processes, and they roll around and roll around and roll around in our head. And the second process is to get it on paper. There is a link between your writing fingers and your brain that happen when you physically write on paper. And the third process is to verbalize it. The way the process works for human beings is that continuous process helps us to move forward faster. So I'd like for you to find one other person and it's very specific. You are with one other person and you listen to their answers, but you do not comment or respond. You just listen to their answers, and then the second person shares their answer. If you don't want to share them with somebody you know, get up and find somebody you don't know. That's okay. But whatever, you just do it with one. They state their questions, their answers, and you state yours, and then we come back together and we'll close together. Okay. I don't think the musicians heard me say thank you very much, musicians. They get into it. It adds to the joy. If you'll turn to page 543 in your hymnal, and we will speak together in responsive reading. 543 in this book. Let us not wish away the winter. It is a season to itself, not simply the way to spring.
When the trees rest, growing no leaves, gathering no light, they live in the sky, trace themselves delicately against dawns and sunsets.
The clarity and brilliance of the winter sky delight. The loom of fog softens edges, lulls the eyes and ears of the quiet, awakens by risk the unquiet. A low dark sky can snow, emblem of individuality, liberality, and aggregate power. Snow invites to contemplation and to sport.
Winter is a table set of ice and starlight.
Winter dark tends to warm light, fire and candle, winter cold to hugs and huddles, winter want to gifts and sharing, winter danger to visions, plans, and common endeavoring, and the zest of narrow escapes, winter tedium to merrymaking.
Let us therefore praise winter,
Rich in beauty, challenge and negativities. Please rise in body and or spirit and join us in singing "It's a Wonderful World," and the words will be on the screen. Please join with the choir. Our closing words, if you'd like to remain standing. Let us allow these dark nights to enrich our dreams, giving us purpose as we journey toward the coming light. Be in peace.